Welcome, everyone, to Siemens Stadium in Okotoks, where today the Dogs and Bulls will meet off. It is Princess in the Park Day, and Mother Nature has decided to let us play baseball for a little bit. Was looking a little dicey there for a while, Conrad. Peter Klein, Conrad Krauser with you here, but looks like we're at least going to be able to get the start of this one in, and actually, judging from the sky, I might get the whole thing in here today.
I see some blue up there, so I'm way happier than when I was driving over it. I saw some raindrops on my windshield and be like, oh, not again.
Yeah. No, it's been a very rainy stretch here in southern Alberta the last couple of days. And actually, when I saw the announcement that, the game's been pushed back till 4, I was like, okay, that's cute. That's lovely that they think they're going to get that in. But I'm going to be home in time for the NBA Finals. And still might, because these two teams got some good pitching on both sides. But looks like we're going to get this in. And Conrad, it is two teams once again in familiar spots at the top of the West Division, with the Dogs now riding a 5-game winning streak. You know that things have gone well for you as an organization when you are just slightly above 500 and people are asking, hey, they're off to a bit of a rough start. What's going on? But
yeah,
now
this is 6 games and people are like, what's up with the Dogs?
Yeah, this is a little bit more what people are expecting now from the Dogs these last 5 games.
Yeah, I would definitely say they've started to turn that proverbial corner. Obviously, missing 2 games this weekend, but you know, as you said, Mother Nature does things. But it'll even out, but being 8-2 in your last 10 is where the Dogs expect to be.
Yeah, that is kind of the standard that they are looking to set. It did not come easy the other night in a 6-5 win against the Brooks Bombers, but they were able to hold off Brooks and pick up another win. But one of the things we are seeing on this stretch here for the Okotoks Dogs is quite a few big numbers being put up in the score column. It's 6-5 against Brooks. It is 7-1 against Fort McMurray. It's 9-8 against Fort McMurray. It's 8-3 against Energy City. The bats are really starting to find their groove as the weather starts to heat up.
Starting to wake up, and I did that last home game for the Dogs, and it didn't come until they threw the bats out onto the clay, actually physically waking them up. But it started out the year, the Dogs kind of were their own worst enemy. They were leaving runners in scoring position, and they've started to solve that issue. Now it's just, can we get the power hitting going? Because obviously we've got a couple of guys who have started to hit for power, but not a lot of it's come here at Siemens Stadium. Obviously one of the bigger ballparks in the WCBL, but we have guys like, as you said, Connor Croson down in Montevallo was hitting a home run every 3rd game.
Yeah.
But is not hitting at nearly that rate for power here this season in Okotoks.
Yeah, and so that would probably be kind of the missing piece there on the Okotoks side. And the pitching side of things is always going to kind of come and go as these seasons go along, as people are in different spots coming off of their summers, and different academy players maybe finding their way in and stuff like that. But the pitching, I'm sure, it seems like they're still trying to figure out where everyone fits.
Yeah, figure out if you're a starter or if you're that middle innings guy that you can rely upon for 3 innings. And then with it being a Sunday game, it's probably going to be one of those traditional dog days of summer where we see 9 different arms come in 9 different innings. Because they do have the off day tomorrow, and actually lost an off day this week, so I wonder if that changes how you address your pitching staff.
Yeah, I would imagine it's more arms at your disposal, but to your point now, there's one less off day during the week, so always the little mixing and matching that managers have to do this time of year in these sorts of leagues. It's always a fun puzzle for everyone to put together, but it should be a fun one here today as the top 2 teams in the West Division face off, as we finally get some baseball in southern Alberta for this weekend. They were supposed to play yesterday in Lethbridge. That was not the case. Now they are playing out here today.
We're supposed to be here on Friday.
Yes,
yeah. Not the case.
yeah. Everything has been, we weren't supposed to be here Wednesday, now we'll be here on Wednesday. Yeah. Everything kind of bouncing around, but very excited to check this one out today.
And you talked about the Western Conference, and Lethbridge has generally been solidly in that top 3, but not necessarily in that 2nd place. Sylvan Lake looks like they're struggling, and we said, as we were looking around the WCBL scoreboard today, the Gulls drop another one out on their East Division road swing, so a little bit of, I'll call it turbulence in the West Division, I guess, for lack of a better term coming to mind.
Yeah, no, I look at the top of both, right? Because Medicine Hat
Yeah.
got off to that dynamite start, and now Saskatoon, apparently, they just don't lose.
No.
Is the strategy they're going with, which I would recommend. You can figure that one out. That seems to be a good way to go about your life.
Yeah, they can bring their purple and blue jerseys here to Okotoks a few more times a year.
Yeah.
For the finals.
Yeah, we certainly would be welcome to that one here. As we're just about ready to get pregame festivities underway. Quickly, there was one defensive note that kind of caught your eye with Eric Matchy, the young player, getting an opportunity at third base today.
Yeah, getting his opportunity at the hot corner is. I don't think you said you saw him there once, maybe last year. I can't think of the last time I haven't seen him up the middle of the infield. I know I saw him play left field once in one of those affiliate games last year, but he's a young man that's kind of been that next star to watch for this Dawgs program ever since he was in with that Dawgs red just knocking on the door. So good to see him getting some opportunity to say, let's see what position you can play in.
Totally. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to say the guy who's handling the DH duties today, Barry Eisman, I didn't realize how hot he was with the stick in his hands. Like, oh boy, hitting at 430 on the year.
Yeah, he has been everything you would want on the Dawgs side. I think there's only a couple games this season that he doesn't have a hit in. So he has been what you would want on from everything for the Okotoks Dawgs. One last note on Matchy. I would suggest, while I'm with you, like he is player to watch, I would say if you are an infielder and you want to get a bit more opportunities with the Dawgs, third base might be the way it has to be with the double play combo of Aiden Rose and Ricardo Sanchez up the middle.
Yeah, and then you've seen the first base has also kind of been a little bit of a revolving door. Because obviously today that'll be manned by Connor Croson, so he'll move corners of the infield. But I think we run out of time on our pregame talk.
I think we have, yeah. Let's send it out to Logan and everyone for what should be a fun start to the day.
How amazing does our field look after all of that rain? Hearts are being raised and holy baseball. I was going to say for coming out, bringing in a little bit of coldness. Bearing with us on a bit of a time change. It is going to be an exceptional game of baseball tonight. And I gotta say thank you for coming out because it is Princess in the Park. Who here dressed up as a princess makes some noise? I see a couple of you. Someone over here. Is wandering around the concourse with big help from Shine after we have got Tinkerbell, Rapunzel, Aurora, Snow White, Ariel, and Merida. They've got some bingo cards. Make sure you grab one of those from our good friends up there at the Shine FM booth. And make sure you fill those out. A big thank you again to Shine FM for coming out, showing up, and helping us out with this day each and every year. We've also got our great friends at 1-800-GOT-JOB with some cool swag up on the concourse as well. Let's get this game started. When we always do with our Serene Fine Jewelry Dog of the Day. Serene Fine Jewelry, you can find them over there in Vulcan. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Bonita Bonita! Dawgs Academy alumni comes to us from Missouri State University, originally from Halifax, Nova Scotia. In 1998, he had 3 hits in 4 at-bats as well as an RBI. Along with this, he's had 4 home runs on the season and looking to keep it strong, and so keep killing it, my man. Let's get things started. Let's go out to the Golden Cowboy press box. Hey, Scott, let's get tonight's starting lineup.
All right, baseball fans, time to introduce your starting lineup for your Okotoks Dawgs. Coming from Pittsburgh State University, shortstop, number 8, Ricky Sanchez. Coming from the University of Alberta, first baseman, number 10, Connor Croson. From Reinhardt University, designated hitter, number 28, Barry Eisman. Coming from Hamilton University, right fielder, number 12, Zane Staxi. And from Illinois State University, third baseman, number 13, Eric Matchy. Also coming from Pittsburgh State University, center fielder, number 3, Jake Skaggs. From Okotoks University, catcher, number 25, Jacob Rubleski. From the University of British Columbia, second baseman, number 5, Aiden Rose. From Belleville University, left fielder, number 38, Steven Elsner. And coming from the University of Montreal, your starting pitcher, number 14, Seth Gurr.
Baseball fans, they don't have to be around in the radio. During Tommy Sargent, the singing of national anthem.
Yeah, it's important. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
So it should be a fun day of baseball as, again, the top two teams in the West Division will face off with the Okotoks Dawgs playing host to the Lethbridge Bulls. Here is the starting lineup for Lethbridge. J.C. Spinoza will lead things off, playing shortstop today, followed by Lee Matsuzaki, Carter Clairhout, and Jack Kaliski hitting in the cleanup spot. Steven Andrzejczyk will be hitting in the 5-hole, followed by Brendan McTavish, Bernie Sakaris, and Adonis Bernal, with Jalen Ryan hitting in the number 9 hole today. Defensively for the Dawgs, it'll be Connor Croson over at first base, the double play combo up the middle, the familiar Ricardo Sanchez and Aiden Rose at short and second. Eric Matchy gets the start at third base. Steven Elsner is in left, Jake Skaggs is in center, and Zane Scansey in right field, with Jacob Rubleski, the battery mate for today's starting pitcher, Seth Gurr, a teammate of Connor Croson's out of the University of Montevallo, born in Coaldale, Alberta, making his fourth start of the season. 1-1 with 3.93 ERA, 16 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, and 2 walks on the year. Conrad said it in the open. These are two of the better teams, and a very good lineup that the Dawgs are putting out there today.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about the man on the mound, as he was one of the TikTok personalities that was highlighted on the Dawgs TikTok, and definitely, if you look at some of the answers to some of our broadcast questions we asked before the air, he's certainly got a bit of a jokester to him. The nickname that apparently he is called is the Girthquake. So we'll have to see how the man on the mound does, as he'll take his last warm-up pitch.
I mean, I feel like if you have the last name of Gurr, you do have to have a level of a sense of humor as you head out there. And it seems like he has that fully locked in, and he's been very good for the Dawgs in a few outings for them this season, and going to have to be today against a good Lethbridge team that has won back-to-back games. So J.C. Spinoza will make his way to the dish, again playing shortstop today.
Shortstop, number 2, J.C. Spinoza.
Yeah, lots of names we recognize who have served multiple years here for this Bulls squad. So not a surprise to see them up in the ranks this year.
Rocks, fires. First pitch is a strike, and we are underway. First pitch comes to you at 4:07 p.m.
Right on time. We don't often get the start time right here in Okotoks, so make note of it when we do.
13 degrees at first pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-1. 13 degrees in the summer can be a little bit like, oh, that's like, it doesn't even get that cold at night sometimes. But for the way it has been the last little bit, that may as well be the face of the sun. It has not been pleasant here the last few days.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more guys out there with the sleeves on. Even Ricky Sanchez has the half sleeves on.
Gurr ready with the 1-1. Breaking pitch drops in for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Speaking of Gurr, he does have an arsenal of that 92, topping out at 93 for a four-seamer. Sinker, slurve, and a splitter. That slurve the slowest in the mid-70s.
The 1-2 to Spinoza. Swing and a miss, strike three. Good start to the ball game for Gurr. He gets his 15th strikeout of the year.
Yeah.
He'll sit Spinoza down.
Started up with the fastball and then got into the off speed and then sped right back up and sped it past Spinoza.
So now it'll be Lee Matsuzaki out of Southern Arkansas University, born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Step in the left-handed batter's box, hitting .319 on the year with a couple home runs and 10 runs batted in.
I was over in Honolulu, Hawaii for January this year.
Oh, nice. That seems like a pretty good spot to spend January.
It was a grad trip. Can't really complain.
Fair enough. That pitch in for a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, it seems there might be less of an ambush mentality here from the Bulls than we've seen for a lot of opposing hitters this year against the Dogs.
They're ready with the 0-1. Swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2. We've seen the Dogs all around the strike zone to start 2025. That has definitely been an area of attack. And yeah, throw strikes seems like a good strategy, but that really seems like a focus here. Ready with the 0-2. Just missed up and away, and it's 1-2.
That one was close there. Handling home plate today is Matt Payne. Marcel Rosetto at first and Trevor Stoico at third for your umpiring crew.
The 1-2. High fly ball over to the left side. Ranging over for it is Elsner. He will look up into, is that the sun? As he makes the play for out number 2.
That thing still exists?
Apparently, yeah.
And as we both kind of had this conversation, haven't seen a lot of Elsner. Was one of the late ads. He did win the JUCO World Series this year, or was a member of one of the teams. I can't remember. My brain's so full of information. But yeah, late joining, and we've seen him at first a couple of times so far, and now getting that opportunity out in the left.
With Carter Clairhout up now. Takes that first pitch in the dirt. So right as I say, oh yeah, Dogs attack the strike zone. First pitch misses. Clairhout hitting .302 this year with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in.
And his third year in the WCBL, if I recall correctly.
Sounds right. The 1-0. In for a strike at 1-1. Clairhout also joining Matsuzaki at Southern Arkansas University out of Red Deer. Has had some success against the Dogs this season. Gurr would like to limit that. The 1-1. High fly ball over to the left side. That one is berm bound. And it's 1-2.
Thankfully, all the princesses got out of the way. As we said, it is Princess in the Park today.
This is, I've done Princess in the Park before, but not for a couple of years. I forgot that there was like a scavenger hunt element to it.
Yeah.
So it seems like they go all out for it today.
Yeah, had to go find all the princesses and get the autographs.
1-2 now from Gurr. Rocks and fires. Chomper over to the left side. Sanchez has it. Throws it across the diamond in plenty of time to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Bulls here in the first. Dogs up in the bottom half when we come back here on FloCollege.
The first meeting is presented by Capital Direct, which specializes in home equity and residential mortgage financing for individuals in a variety of credit situations. Visit capitaldirect.ca.
Bottom half of the first here at Siemens Stadium, still no score between Dawgs and the Bulls. Home side getting their first opportunity of the game. It'll be Ricardo Sanchez leading things off, followed by Connor Croson. Then it'll be Eisman in the 3-hole. Scanzi is the cleanup hitter. Matchy, Skaggs, and Rubleski are 5, 6, and 7, with Rose and Elsner rounding out the lineup, and they will be facing Levi Abbott today, getting the start for Lethbridge. Abbott coming into this one, making his third start out of Canisius University. 2-0, hasn't allowed an earned run this year. 13 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 3 hits allowed. So he's been okay.
Yeah, those are decent numbers.
Yeah, that'll do. First pitch, Sanchez fouls that one off, and everyone immediately does a mental inventory. Where did I park my car? So that one flies out 0-1.
Well, the Dawgs coming out swinging at first pitches. Obviously, you want your leadoff guy to just get on base more often than not. I don't think you're ashamed of Ricky taking a swing at that one.
The 0-1. Breaking ball hit to the right side, and that one slowed up a lot. Nice play at second base by Brennan McTavish. And I think the water-soaked field may have had something to do with it, because that ball looked like it probably had a shot to go through and just died on its way to the second baseman McTavish.
Yeah, the little bit of extra brakes on it. You got to put things in the air today, it would seem.
Yeah. Connor Croson now up at the dish, hitting .368 on the season with a home run and 16 runs batted in.
Only .368.
Yeah. Yeah, really slumping to start the year for him. It's actually the exact batting average he had at Montevallo this year, with 16 home runs and 62 RBI.
It's been a while since I've seen the Okotoks Town Connect uniforms come out. Bring them out for Pretzess in the Park Day today.
Yeah, they were sharp. The 0-1, that one up and away, 1-1. Quickly, defensively for the Bulls, it is Clarehout at first, McTavish and Spinoza up the middle. Andrechik is at third. In left, it is Sakara. Center field is John Ryan, and right field is Lee Matsuzaki, as Croson swings through that one, 1-2, with Adonis Bernal, behind home plate.
Yeah, and it's I think it's the second year for Adonis, too, so lots of names you'll recognize here for this Bulls squad, even if you only watch your Okotoks Dogs.
The 1-2. Croson fights that one off to the right side. Bobbled a bit by Clarehout. Now takes the shovel from Levi Abbott. And quickly, there are 2 away on the conventional 3-1-3 put out at first base.
Yeah, it kind of ate up the first baseman there, but luckily did have Abbott racing over to cover and was able to shovel it back.
And now it is Barry Eisman up at the plate. You mentioned him in the open, hitting .438 this year out of Reinhardt University with 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in.
Yeah, not a bad guy to throw that DH on if you have to change things up.
Takes that first pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, when a guy's hitting 400, I don't mind the pitcher painting around the edges a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, let him just try to nibble a little bit. That's fair. The 1-0 to Eisman. That one finds the strike zone, and it is now 1-1. There are, just looking at it now, for Eisman, there are 2 games this season that he doesn't have a hit in, and one of them he only came in for 1 at bat. So 1 regular game this year. That one will miss outside. It looks like the outside part of the zone might be a little bit skinnier than the pitcher's one early on. It's 2-1.
Yeah, Bernal tried to get that one back in, but used his a little bit longer than usual frame to try and fool home plate umpire Matt Payne today.
Looking from Abbott, the 2-1. Takes that one. That found the strike zone, and it's 2-2. Quick little head tilt from Eisman, and gets a bit more of an explanation on that.
Yeah. God, his shoes distract me every time he steps into the batter's box. The orange high-top sneakers that he has customized into cleats.
Ball pull foul by Eisman, so we'll do it again at 2-2. There is no wind to speak of at all from this game. Feel I should mention that. If you didn't know there were flags on that flagpole, you wouldn't from the activity of them. There is nothing happening wind-wise here.
Which is strange, because it's been a blustery weekend to this point.
Yeah, people may be thinking we're harping on the weather too much. It sucked here for a better part of the weekend. As that one mentions up and away, 3-2. If you
they were predicting rain just shy of the 2013 levels at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you
someone who lives by the river, I appreciate that we got shy of that.
Yeah, I agree. Flood mitigation works.
Yeah, there you go. Count now full to Eisman in the pitch. Fights that one off over to the left side. Spinoza throws it across the diamond in time. 1, 2, 3, go the Dogs. Looks like we got a good one brewing. Pitching-wise here today, it is Dogs and Bulls. Scoreless after one here from Stevens Stadium in Okotoks on FloCollege.
Next, ensure to utilize your concession mobile ordering option to skip all the lines of today's meeting. Simply scan the QR code on the back of the seat in front of you or any text stickers located around the seat.
Fans, are you looking for a fun and exciting way to keep your young ball player active this summer? The Dogs are hosting 3 different 3-day summer camps, perfect for players of all skill levels. Whether your child is just starting out or looking to sharpen their game, we've got this camp for them. Sponsor limited, so don't wait. Visit the Dogs City office or visit our website for more details and register today.
Top half of the second inning here in Okotoks. Both sides going 3 up, 3 down in inning number 1 as we continue. Peter Klein, Conrad Krauser with you here. It'll be Jack Kaliski leading things off out of OLLU and San Antonio, Texas. Off to a good start this year, hitting .261 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. In his second inning of work. First pitch, breaking ball in for a strike. That is almost unfair when you start 3 batters off in the first inning with fastballs. And so the number 4 hitters, all right, dead red, here we go. And breaking ball.
Yep.
So you develop trust issues. The 0-1, swinging and a miss at that one, and it's 0-2.
So I think that might have been the slurve that we're talking about that's in the low 70s. So slower than slow, especially when you're probably going to have to catch up to a fastball coming here.
The count 0-2. Rocks and fires. That one just missed, and it's 1-2.
I think Gurr thought that one should have gone his way.
Rubleski was about to go around the horn, I think. I think he thought that one too.
And the heat down doesn't even get a swing out of Kaliski.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Took an extra pitch, but Gurr has his second strikeout of the afternoon. Both of them swinging so far here today.
And the stuff is there, and was that? I think that might have been another fastball. Just said last pitch was a borderline call. Seeing it and chased down once again. And I think the messaging is going to be for both these teams. You're going to need to put it in the air to try and get on the base paths today.
Up now is Andrzejczyk. He'll line this ball foul. It is 0-1. Yeah, these are 2 nasty pitchers to have going in a game where the ball is taking a very, very sudden stop once it's hitting the ground.
Well, and you have to imagine some of them are talking to some of the guys they've grown up with that are playing in that Collegiate World Series right now. They had a game complete scoreless 1-0 final.
Yeah.
So who knows? They're just trying to imitate that as we go to 1-1.
Gurr gets the sign. Rocks and fires the 1-1. Chopped that one foul, and it's 1-2.
Just got the hands through the strike zone quickly. There did Andrzejczyk, and almost a safety.
Our ball boy took a bit of a tumble there, sorry.
Ooh, and looks a little ginger as he jogs off.
It's actually the exact spot I slipped and fell when we played a slow pitch game here one time. So I am beauty, I am grace. The 1-2. That one Missed up and away. Rubleski saying, hey, yeah, that's that. We want that there all the time. But even though that was called a ball, that's a pretty good spot with 2 strikes.
Peter, there might have been a few longer limbs flailing when it was you who took the spill down there.
That pitch fouled away. I was also moving slower, too.
Probably.
That one.
I have no room to speak on that one, though, Peter.
It's the count even at 2-2, with Andrzejczyk up hitting .364 this year out of Midland College. Kalispell, Montana fouls that one straight back, and
we're in a battle here.
Still gets a few people to wince with the netting there. But yeah, this is very good at bat here, and then one of those kind of chess matches early in a ball game. Has his sign, the 2-2. Fouls that one back, and we'll do it all over again. So we got a very good at bat here from Andrzejczyk, who is on a bit of a heater. Much like Eisman, only 2 games without a hit this season. Contact, you can certainly see where. Sorry, Conrad.
Yeah, and not a far away from home out of Montana. Just comes a little bit north of the border down to Lethbridge.
The 2-2. This is inside, and the count runs full at 3-2. Andrzejczyk has worked 6 walks in 13 games this season, but did have a .502 on base percentage with Midland College this year. Full count pitch, fouled back. Why not?
Yeah, this is your 5-hole hitter as well, so a little bit down the lineup, just trying to get some more pitches on the arm of Gurr, and that'll add in throughout the season here. And oh, did he stumble again?
I believe so, yeah. It was right in the blind spot I have here with the window break, but yeah, looked like we may have had another bit of one. Count here at 3-2. Long look in from Gurr. Now he's ready. The full count pitch. That one skips in, ball 4. And so Andrzejczyk is aboard first base run of the ball game for either side. And with 1 on and 1 out, McTavish comes to the plate.
Brendan McTavish batting a .296 on the year here with the Bulls. His return to the WCBL was with the Bulls for 2 games in 2023. I have to think that might have been a season ended short due to injury, or just an AP because he is a Lethbridge boy.
Mm-hmm. Out of Midland College. Steps in that left-handed batter's box since we see Gurr from the stretch for the first time today. Still brings the heat. It's 0-1.
Speaking a little bit more about McTavish, he does that red shirt freshman, so you have to think that my injury prediction might have been a little bit true, getting that extra year down with Midland College.
Fouls that one off. 0-2 now to McTavish. Has a couple home runs on the year. One of them against the Dawgs back on the 1st of June. Went 2 for 4 in that game. Gurr checks the runner over at first. And the 0-2. Just missed, up and away, 1-2.
I thought that painted the left-hand side of the home plate, but there's a reason that Matt Payne's standing a lot closer than I am.
Yeah. Yeah, they still haven't figured out that balls and strikes are best called up here. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
3 strikeouts already young on the afternoon for Gurr, and the command's been there, as I say, after he issued a walk.
No, that certainly was the exception, not the rule. Overall, it has been ahead in most counts, and that at bat was just a battle, right? Like he was ahead in that one as well, and Andrzejczyk just would not go down without a fight. So now it is Bernice Sakaris out of the amazingly named Friends University, and in Hobbs, New Mexico, hitting at .240 this year with 5 runs batted in.
And he decides to go lefty on righty as a switch hitter. The dying art.
Skies this ball into center field. First pitch swinging on it. Skaggs came in on it. Now will settle back and make the play. So a nice way to set off or offset a battle of an at bat from Andrzejczyk is to get a 1-pitch flyout to end the second. Still no score. Dawgs come back up next here on FloCollege.
Now, one thing that we haven't done in a while is, of course, the shuffle. Perhaps 2 tickets to an all-star game on July 19th. Are you ready? All right, attention, 2 weeks later. The rules are easy. We're going to put a ball underneath You tell me where the ball is. The tickets are yours. Here it goes. Spin around, spin around. I'm going to do what I do best, and that is be super distracting. All right, what do you think is 1, 2, or 3? 3. She chooses number 3. So we get 3. Is it number 3? Ooh, couple people saying no. But you are absolutely correct. You got 2 tickets to the All-Star game. And just a reminder to get your tickets. It's happening July 19th. And again, go Dawgs, go. Go Dawgs, go.
The second game is presented by Photo Screen. Street Voice, 1969.
Middle of the Dawgs order due up here in the bottom of the second with 4, 5, and 6 up. That means Scansy will lead off, followed by Matchy and Skaggs. Peter Klein, Conrad Krauser back with you. Bottom half of the second inning as Scansy makes his way to the plate with a nice and tidy 400 batting average with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in out of Campbellsville University.
I was about to say, it's always nice when it's that even number in the batting average.
Yeah, just very visually appealing. That one misses low, 1-0. Sorry, go ahead.
Also has 5 stolen bags on the air, so danger at the plate and on the base paths.
The 1-0. Rips that ball to the left side. Nice snag by Andrzejczyk. Gets up and throws across the diamond, 1 away. That is I believe as a announcer, I am obligated to say that's why they call it the hot corner with a very nice snag by Andrzejczyk.
Yeah, especially with him having to play in with the defensive positioning. And don't have a ton of reaction time, but puts away a dangerous batter. But there is no port in a storm here in this Dawgs lineup today.
Matchy knows well about that over at third base, as he is the counterpart today. Comes in hitting .234. First pitch misses low, 1-0. Matchy's been part of this Dawgs program for a while, working his way through, and just feels poised for a breakout here in 2025. Swing and a miss there, and it's 1-1.
As we said, he's played last year as an affiliate, played his 8 games. My brain is fully correct. But seeing rotational play here with the Dawgs and a bunch of positions across the infield.
Hits that one to short. Spinoza is there. Throw across the diamond in time, and quickly there's 2 away. Abbott is full marks for all the great stats we had for him at the beginning of the day.
Abbott, and the fact that the Dawgs are just over top a lot of these baseballs, and as we said, the grass playing real slow today. Can't read the greens that well with all the water on it.
Jake Skaggs up at the plate now, hitting .302 in 17 games this year with a home run and 6 RBI. Pittsburgh State University.
Yeah, one of the trio of the Pittsburgh State boys that got to drive up here in Caden Williams' truck.
I mean, that feels like a show just in itself.
Yeah, Caden, Jake, and a certain Ricardo Sanchez in a truck. We should have sent them a camera.
Yeah.
To have the GoPro for the whole road trip.
The 0-1. That one catches the inside part of the plate, and quickly it is 0-2. Levi Abbott is dealing. His last outing came against Fort McMurray over a week ago now, went 7 innings of shutout ball with 1 hit and 10 strikeouts.
That doesn't just help you individually. It helps the whole bullpen when you can go that many innings.
And the 0-2, froze him, strike 3. That's the inning. As Abbott is dealing so far, we go to the top half of the third here at Siemens Stadium. Still no score between the Bulls and Dawgs on FloCollege.
Third team is presented by Buffalo Vodka. Buffalo Vodka is great vodka for friends in the country world. Ashley Buffalo.
And don't forget to check out our friends over at 1-800-GOT-JUMP. Visit their website for details. They still have a little bit of swag left. So hit them up on the concourse. Thank you so much. 1-800.
Top half of the third inning here at Siemens Stadium in Okotoks. Dawgs and Bulls still awaiting the game's first hit, let alone first run. It'll be 8-9-1 up for the Bulls here in the third inning with Bernal, Ryan, and Spinoza due up. Another inning of Seth Gurr out of the mound.
I'm incorrect. It is only Adonis Bernal's second year with the Bulls, but it's a name I recognize. It's tough to forget a name like Adonis.
Yeah. He's hitting .226 this year with 1 run batted in. First pitch misses the inside part of the plate, 1-0. He's been nibbling at that area against righties a couple of times, to see where the limit is over there.
Also narrowly avoided the belt buckle.
The 1-0. Breaking pitch in for a strike. That started out looking like it was going to go in that exact same spot and then just took a hard turn toward the outside part of the plate. Filthy. The 1-1. This is outside. It's 2-1.
If I was on the play, I would have taken a hard left at Albuquerque, but that's a reference I don't think many people still get these days.
I know what you're talking about anyway. Bugs Bunny reference. The 2-1. Big swing, got a piece of that one, and it's 2-2. Bernal out of Wayland Baptist University.
And Matt Payne gonna take the longer walk out as that one stung a little bit.
It's like Wrobleski is still
well
massaging out whatever hurt there.
Last time I saw Rubo at catcher, he took one to a painful location on most guys, and so
ankle.
Yeah, of course.
A little further north, hey?
Yeah, just a bit inside.
The 2-2. Swinging and a strike 3. Fourth strikeout of the afternoon for Seth Gurr, and there's one away here in the third.
Well, it could be a battle of the aces here to go on as we are fully through 2 and +1 and 4 strikeouts through the first time through the order.
As Jalen Ryan.
Yeah, it's
just about through
the order.
Yeah. Still time to get the better part of 50% through this one. First pitch to Jalen Ryan. He will take that one in for a ball, 1-0. Ryan this year out of Eastern Arizona College, born in El Paso, Texas, hitting .288, driving in 4 runs.
Another guy that can be a menace on the bases. 4 steals on the air for Ryan. Not necessarily speed, you think, out of the 9 hole, but I guess that's kind of changed throughout the years.
That pitch is in there, 1-1. Yeah, a lot of teams like to use that now as kind of a second leadoff guy to be able to turn your lineup over. And he's hitting .288 this year with that speed. Hit .368 with Eastern Arizona College. The 1-1 waited on that breaking pitch and fouls it back, 1-2. So why not? If you have your best hitters at the top of the lineup, in theory, have someone out there who can cause some damage and take some extra bases.
Yeah, it's a tough day to play small ball, and that's kind of been how the Dawgs have been playing this year, and I'm wondering with what I'm seeing if it's similar.
Swinging and a miss, strike 3. Some high heat again sets him down, so it is 5 Ks on the first tour through the order for Seth Gurr, who has found it today.
So 5 strikeouts in the first 9, but Sometimes it's the second or third time through the order when you start to see some of the cracks start to show when you have seen the guy's stuff a few times.
As J.C. Spinoza comes to the plate, he was one of the strikeout victims back in the first. First pitch. Check swing foul. That one ricocheted up into the netting pretty quickly. So it'll be 0-1. Kerr this year with Montevallo got into 18 games, started 7 of them, 42 and a third innings pitched, went 1-3, 19 walks, 40 strikeouts, and a 6.80 ERA.
So the strikeout number is not unexpected, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's kind of followed him everywhere. Espinosa waits on that one and flares it out to right field for a base hit. First hit of the ball game for either side. It's a single to right for Spinosa. There's one on with 2 away.
Yeah, just classic handoff to the next guy batting there. Just find the soft spot between the infielders and the outfielders and just take your single.
Spinosa does have a stolen base this year, had 3 with Canisius. As Lee Matsuzaki comes to the plate, flew out to left field to start his day off.
He probably thinks we're freezing right now with 13 degrees Celsius.
Fights that one off over to short. Sanchez has it, throws it across the diamond. It's high, but it's scooped down by Croson, who will make the play and end the inning. So a hit and nothing more for the Bulls. We go to the home half of the third here at Siemens Stadium in Okotoks. Dawgs and Bulls knotted up at zeros on FloCollege.
It is now time for our Leopold pint toss. Today's contestant, we've got Randy McSnaws. Rules are easy. You've got 3 chances to get a ball in that hole in that nice Leo's night. Nobody has. Let's see. Throw number 1. Let's see. Throw number 1. That's close. Number 2. Siemens Stadium, throw number 3. Let's give him some encouragement. Here we go. So close. And you're slipping out there with a prize package to Leopold. One more time, make some noise.
Now batting from Gonzaga University, catcher number 25, Jacob Rubleski.
Jacob Rubleski leading things off for the Dawgs here in the bottom of the third inning. It is the bottom of the third of the order for the Dawgs, with Rubleski, Rose, and Elsner here in the third.
Yeah. Faced the minimum so far has the pitcher, Abbott.
First pitch chopped high over to the right side, played by Clairhout, shovels it to the bag in time for the out. That is one of the highest chops you will see to first base, but still get the out, 1 away.
I think Rubleski didn't take as hard of a 90 as he might have necessarily needed there. I thought it might have gotten foul, but it's so tough.
Yeah. Aiden Rose now up at the dish. Rose coming into this one, hitting .314 on the year. That one in for a strike. Talking about players that we've seen develop over time, Aiden Rose certainly one of those.
Yeah, first year with the Dawgs, that 2021 year, the 6-team division.
It's a strange time. That one bounces in 1-0. Or 1-1, sorry.
Yeah, and has turned that into a very successful career, both here with the Dawgs and over at UBC.
The 1-1. Nice breaking pitch, but that one just missed. That was on Princess in the Park Day. That was a tribute to Elsa, as he had him frozen on it. But just missed the strike zone, 2-1.
PK, usually the puns are my thing.
I will admit, I thought of that one a couple innings ago and wanted to get it in before you take over play-by-play for the next inning. So, first opportunity I had.
And Rose taps his chest, says that's on me, as he's now down 2-2.
Doesn't strike out much, just 6 Ks in 11 games so far this year. Fights that one off over the right side, and that will go into the bullpen.
Definition of safety swing there. Have you been over to the new bullpen yet?
I have not. It's my fault because I get here late all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I need to go check it out, even just from here. It looks so nice. 2-2 now to Rose. Swing and a miss. And they'll make the throw to first official.
Yeah, Bernal dropped that one. The safety swing from Rose must have caught a piece.
So 2 away now, and the batter will be Elsner.
So we talked about how there is a couple thoughts about that 9th in the order. The Dawgs not putting speed, but putting power at the plate with Elsner.
Elsner out of Bellevue University. Big cut on that one. Yeah, that wasn't I'm just looking to turn the lineup over swing. That was, let's see if we can hit the Shell gas station out in dead center field.
I want to see someone bend it around the foul pole and hit Eco Express. We love our partners over at Eco Express, but it's a ways out there.
Yeah, it would be impressive. But Elsner now just looking to get on as he finds himself behind the count at 0-2. Elsner with 23 home runs this year with Bellevue. The 0-2 swing and a miss. And they'll make this one official as well. Got him. So it's 3 up, 3 down, 9 up, 9 down for the Dawgs so far. It has been a pitcher's duel here in southern Alberta. Conrad takes over the play-by-play and what's been a good one so far between the Bulls and the Dawgs next here on FloCollege.
Next first has solutions at this every situation.
The Dawgs step on to the defensive part of this 4th inning, and it's been a quick one so far. 1 over the minimum. Well, 2 over, I guess. There was the single and the walk issued. The only things to note here for Gurr, and Gurr will take the toss from his third baseman, Eric Matchey. And it'll be Carter Clearout, who had a couple plays there defensively in the home half of the 3rd.
Yeah, he's had a bit of an adventure over at first base today. A tough short hop and a very high hop.
Yes. Takes in the bottom corner. He disagrees, but he's not the one calling the balls and strikes.
Yeah, I've yet to see one of those work. Oh, come on. No, you're right.
I've only seen it once, and that's in hockey, and it was Mark Giordano argued his way out of a tripping call. The 0-1, and that one's down in the dirt. Not much arguing to be had there.
I did for a little bit, not to this level, but there are a couple times you're calling, someone's arguing, it's like, I'm not going to change it now. I'm going to deny it, but I know.
1-1 the count here from Gurr. Gurr can't find that outside corner with that one. 2-1 the count. You know, I said Barry Iceman's cleats distract me. The pink laces certainly draw you to them.
Yes. Maybe that's the intention, try to distract a little bit.
Yeah. Or it could be breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
2-1 delivery clear out. Gets a lot of that baseball. It will stay in the ballpark. Elsner will find that toes on the warning track. One away.
I think you're going to see a lot of that today as both pitchers can bring a lot of velocity. So inherently, you're going to be behind on a few. Clairhout kind of just embraced that, goes the other way with it. Some good pop the opposite way, but Elsner up to the test so far out in left field.
Yeah, as I said, the only time I've seen him so far has been over at first base, but manning that left field today. That'll hand off to Jack Kaliski. Kaliski chops this one. And Sanchez will make the play, and not a lot of speed on the base pass allowed that one to turn into an out. 2 away for the Dogs. The long throw from Ricky Sanchez.
We talked about how slow the infield is moving before. That can pose a problem if it's not coming out to you quickly. That was a longer charge than normal from Sanchez and a good stretch from Crowson. You're taught, don't stretch until they throw it. You'll see a lot of people just stretch because they're supposed to stretch, recognizing how he has to attack that baseball and able to get the second out.
There's been a couple that he's had to pick out of the sky there from Ricky, but Ricky's just had to make a couple of long throws trying to get it there. Speaking of high, that one high and outs, or inside rather, 1-0.
Yeah, a lot of times when you have those ones you have to charge, it is just, I'm going to get it over there, and you just deal with how I do that.
Thank you, first baseman.
Yeah.
A couple pitches have missed the top of the strike zone. First time we've seen Gurr really down 2-0.
And down morally as well. He seemed a little frustrated with that one.
The 2-0 offering here from Gurr. Swing and a miss. That's a way to get back in the battle.
That knocked dust off of the glove of Wróblewski that I don't know if he knew was on there. That might have taken a full layer off of that thing. That was humming.
And staring down to Andrzejczyk, who has a 364 coming into today. Takes at the knees, 2-2. Andrzejczyk disagrees vehemently.
I mentioned before, he had a 502 on base percentage at Midland College. I can't imagine. I don't even get on base that much in slow pitch.
Yeah. The 2-2 from Gurr. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And Gurr pumps the fist for that one. Another 0 on the scoreboard. We'll be back with the home half when we return here on Flow Sports.
Fans, now t-shirt time, brought to you by Leading Edge Physical Therapy. I got some Disney princesses on my side, but now we got Disney on the third base. This is a t-shirt for two of the loudest fans in the Stevens Stadium. Can I get a go down slow on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
Hopefully you guys haven't touched that dial, because this game is flying so far as we're in the home half of the fourth. But no runs have crossed the plate yet. Dawgs going to look to change that as we're back to the top of the order.
To have runs, you need hits, and there's been one of them.
Well,
you
see that. Yeah, we've seen games where it's 4-3 with 3 hits combined. So
that is fair.
But Ricky, in his second time to the plate, and you have to scroll to actually find his batting statistics. He's been a pitcher already once this year. He'll take a called strike.
Yeah, I need to talk to the fine people at Point Streak about that. We can put Ricky's pitching stats at the bottom, I think.
I would definitely agree. That one just too low. Good eye from Ricky, 1-1. Knows where the bottom of that strike zone is quite well. 5'8" out of Mexico City, Mexico, or the Ciudad de Mexico. He was down there a few weeks ago for his brother's birthday. Chops it up the middle. Fielded well on a little hop there from Abbott. 1 away.
Yeah, it is. You were expecting maybe a couple more comfortable at-bats with the top of the order coming up against Abbott for the second time around. But that, look, just it is tough to get soft contact on Ricky Sanchez, and it has been a couple softer ones from him so far.
And Connor Croson, the Crow Show, steps up to bat. Another guy where we can shuffle that pitching stat down.
Yeah, like you can have him on there, just put it at the bottom, that's all.
Swings and misses over the first offering, trying to ambush Abbott here.
That might be the move, because he is all around the strike zone, so you presume strike one would be important to him. Try to get a jump on it early.
Croson says no, and agreed by Matt Payne.
Then you take sorry, keep cutting you off, I'm sorry. You take the aggressive approach in the first strike, then all of a sudden it's a 4-pitch inning.
Swings over the top of that off-speed offering, and when it is off-speed, the brakes are fully on. It's certainly got to catch back up after that pitch. The 1-2 offering to Croson. Up and away, 2-2. Yeah, there is a big difference in the four-seamer and the off-speed here from Abbott. So both guys definitely having that command. The 2-2 offering. Croson swings and misses. He'll walk back to the dugout with a shake of the head.
I'm harping on it, but like Connor Croson has had 4 swings like that in his life. Like he is not one who gets off balance all that often. Abbott has it going on, and like you said, like there is a substantial difference in velocity in these pitches, and best I can tell from up here, they all look the same coming out of his hand. It's not like he slows his delivery down or tips any pitches in any way. Everything looks the same until it is coming at you 20 miles an hour less with movement.
Yeah, and here comes Barry Eisman. That one off the outside, 1-0. And like sometimes your approach to the guys like this is just, let's just get something dribbling along the grass, but we've seen that's not viable due to the weather conditions, and Eisman does not like that call.
That's 2 on the outside part of the plate today that he's disagreed with. One in the first inning, the other one just now. But to your point, this is a pitcher that is very tough to drive the ball against, and so to have to do that, to have any success today is going to be tough.
Eisman flails the bat of that one. It'll be off into the Princesses at the park. 1-2 the count now.
If anyone is going to drive, it'll be Eisman. You mentioned before he's been on fire. A couple home runs here this year. Had 2 last year with the Dawgs and 6 with Reinhardt University here in 2025.
And already 13 RBIs on this season, and gets a charge of that one, but it will not be aided by any wind. It'll stay up in the air. Ryan will step under it. And the Dawgs once again go in order. The bats need to wake up, but it is a pitcher's duel. We'll see more of it when we return here on Flow Sports.
The third game is presented by Lethbridge, the exclusive one and supplier of the Dawgs. Dawgs fans, you're the young ball winner born between 2011 to 2015. Who's ready to take their game to the next level? Check out our Dawgs Academy fall ball and winter training. Stop by the Dawgs City office for all the details today.
So Seth Gurr once again climbs that mountain of a mound. Good pick by Ricky Sanchez on the throwback. Got to keep them active somehow because they haven't had much to do on the field, on the base paths rather today.
Yeah, forget the just randomly throwing guys over at the mound. Let's put Sanchez at first. That was quite the scoop for, to your point, someone who has had a couple baseballs hit to him. But other than that, pretty chill day for everyone involved on the defensive side so far.
No score on the board yet. Only one hit to speak of as well. That'll bring Brennan McTavish to the dish. The I can play any position that isn't involved in the mound. He swings the first pitch he sees from Gurr. Fielded well by Rose, unsurprisingly over to Croson, one away.
Those at-bats are so important for a pitcher here to be able to get one out on one pitch when you've had battles like the one we saw with Andrzejczyk in the second inning and a couple other kind of lengthy ones. Also, when you have 6 strikeouts, inherently those take at least 3 pitches. So to be able to extend your outing and get those first pitch swinging outs are very, very important.
Bernie Socorro steps up to the dish out of Hobbs, New Mexico. Another one of those guys that says, I'll play wherever you put me, coach. And will once again elect to swing from the left-handed batter's box. Gets a hold of the first pitch he sees, and as I said, the ambush starting to come out here from the Bulls as that one will find the outfield grass.
Yeah, and that is the opposite part of the, oh, well, you get a one-pitch out is when you throw one pitch, and now you have to deal with a base runner over at first base in Sakaris. A nice knock there. Already 3 steals this year. Had 4 all of this season at Friends University. So could he be any more of a threat on the bases?
And that'll bring forth Adonis Bernal catching today.
It's a Friends joke if you didn't catch it.
I was going to leave it. That one put high into the Okotoks sky, but it will get out of play. 0-1 the count. They can't catch my clapping if it was a Friends joke. So, but 0-1 here to Adonis Bernal, and it's quite a head of hair to keep withheld in that helmet, and also the back pick opportunity. That one knocked down by Croson.
That's a good play by Croson. You like the aggressiveness from Rubleski. You just want the other team, if you can just lower that lead by half a step, maybe that gets them on a play at third base or something like that. And Croson recognizing the first job on that is to make sure the ball doesn't go down the right field line.
Yep.
So get in the way.
Have to play that ball, that street hockey goalie.
Yes, yeah.
Just get in front of it. That one will soar foul, but tried to paint that third base line. 1-2 the count to Bernal.
He almost painted the third base coach. Talk about trying to get in the way of something. He was trying to get out of the way of that. That got a little scary over there.
That's why the coaches stand to the back of the coaching boxes. Oh, they're coaching suggestions at this point. That one down in the dart. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that's actually pretty close down there. I too would be kind of, yeah, I'll take my steps back.
2-2, Gurr versus Bernal. Pickoff attempt, and good snag there by Croson.
That's a good quick move over there from Gurr, and you are trying to do that and catch them napping, but that is very difficult to do while also being accurate.
Yep. Pickoff once again.
Although not impossible.
As you said, a very, very quick move and thrown with authority. That'll pick off Bernie Socorris. Oh, and got to be quicker than that. Coming from our music man, Christian. 2-2 the count here for Gurr. Now not having to worry about any runners on the base paths. That hit him. It's gonna say it did. I'd say he was in the strike zone when he got hit. I'd argue that if I was Jacob Wroblewski, but you pick the guy off at first, then you hit the guy on the next pitch.
Yeah, and all it is just kind of switching places. I will suggest that the catcher switching spots with the left fielder is still a trade I will take. But as far as hit by pitch goes, the ones that graze your jersey are the ones you kind of want.
Yeah.
So Bernal will happily take that one with, admittedly, a bit of probably an elevated heart rate after that.
Not the one in and around the hands that Fernando Tatis Jr. took it last week or during the week and cause the bases clearing, or benches clear. Snagged by Rosie. He'll flip underhand to Ricky Sanchez, and that's why Aiden Rose has been so frequent out there at second base. The defensive play by the Dogs means we will head to the home half with 0 still on the scoreboard. We return on Flow Sports.
Doing some pretty incredible sponsors. Push us up with pizza every single day. Just a loud and hungry fitness. We're looking for some Tom's House of Pizza.
And we return with the home half of the fifth. A pitching duel for the ages here. How many strikeouts does Abbott have? I haven't kept track on my sheet.
Abbott is at 4 right now. It's still 6 for Gurr. So 10 strikeouts in the 17, 18 batters we've had in this game.
Yeah,
so far.
not bad. And the Dogs trying to get their first runner on base so far. Haven't had a hit, haven't had a walk, haven't had anyone hit by pitch. That one misses outside.
It's significantly more than 18. My math was off on that, but it's an impressive number where we're at this point.
The 1-0 offering. Let's make it 2-0. Outside, then inside, and 0 swings so far for Zane.
It sounds like we're gushing, but I genuinely don't know how many times the Dogs have even been to 2 balls in this game so far.
Scansey tried to hammer that one 400 to dead center. Just missed. 2-1. And we talk about it all year, but another beautifully attended game. Obviously, Princess in the Park helps inflate those numbers. And Scansey elevated that ball. Launch angle not quite where he wanted it, but lost in the sun in a late call, but he is retired. Not a lot of communication there between Sakaris and Andrechuk, and
yeah,
that's Spinoza rather.
That's a bit adventurous to make your way all the way out there. That was basically regular depth in the outfield by the time that ball finished carrying. So that is the left fielder's ball all the way, but good thing they were able to communicate that at least at the end as they get the pop out for the first out of the inning.
Matchy swings over the top of that first offering. Said he got a piece of it, but still a strike. Matchy will hammer the clay off his cleats and step in.
It's going to be pretty common throughout the day, I think.
Yeah, it's sticky. It's not the shale that you play on in some of the ballparks in Calgary. It's actual clay, and Matchy in an 0-2 hole, as we've seen a couple times today for Dogs. Batters. Well, batters on both sides, really.
Yeah.
He steps back in once again and takes 0-2. That was at about eye level. That one's easy to lay off when you're having to do the matrix bend to get out of the way.
Yeah, tough to swing while your head is getting whipped back.
Yeah, you weren't here, but Connor Croson took one up high last week, so seen that a couple times. And Matchy gets to that one, but played well by McTavish. 2 away.
That is one of the harder hit balls of the game so far. I'm actually able to hit that one on the screws, but it is just right at McTavish. Not an easy play with how inconsistent this wet clay could be in terms of a source for things to bounce off of. But a nice snag there for the second out.
So that'll bring Pittsburgh State University Jake Skaggs to the dish. Not a lot of lefties in the lineup today for the Dogs.
No, interesting against a righty out on the hill.
Yeah. 0-0 to Skaggs, called strike. Skaggs almost looks like that softball style step through instead of keeping his feet still on that offering. That one just missed the top of the strike zone, 1-1.
A good year with Pitt State University with the hitting 287, 389 on base, 4 home runs.
Yeah, I talked to Ricky and that Pitt State team. They were not happy with how early they ended their season. Swings over the top of that offering, 1-2.
That was another one that was off speed. Skaggs was definitely geared up for the fastball and just a huge swing through it. As a pitcher now, it feels like the whole arsenal is yours when you see a swing like that.
1-2 the count. The delivery. Swing and a miss and another strikeout. The story of the game so far. Nothing on the scoreboards. We'll be back with the top of the 6th when we return here on Flow Sports.
Well, hello there, Vernon. You're looking mighty fine here. The Vernon makes some noise. We hear that. That means one thing. That means the I-360 Gatling gun is getting warmed up. If you're on the Vernon and you're looking for one of these I-360 baseballs, make some noise. Here we go. Let it rip.
That's a number. That was stress also. I-360 will earn right now.
So to the top of the 6th we go, and Ripleski airmails his throw back to second. Just keep making sure Ricky was still paying attention. It is still Seth Gurr on the mound. He takes his ritual or walk around the mound and takes the toss from Matchy.
Yeah, a couple people stretching in the Dogs bullpen, but not a whole lot of movement. And why would there be with the gem we have being spun on both sides so far?
And I think the Bulls might have sent their bullpen into the locker room. Said, you can sit down for quite a while. Go have a nap. Gurr delivers. That one bounces under Rubletsky. 1-0 the count. Yeah, that one went 5-hole.
Look like Stuart Skinner.
Oh, is that too soon? Check swing. Flies off in the direction of the parking lot.
For some, probably. For quite a few in this part of the world, maybe not so much.
That's fair. This is 2 Southern teams. There's probably more Flames fans listening to our broadcast. And probably some family from down south who are wondering what the heck we're talking about. 1-1. Ooh, I don't know where that one missed. But apparently it did.
Yeah, guess so. Matt Payne knows where.
Yeah, and he isn't communicating it to us. 2-1 delivered. That one down in the dirt. 3-1.
this is the first visual sign of frustration really for Gurr today, and he has been so dominant so far. You really just want him to settle down and just focus on the next pitch.
3-1 delivered, and that one's hit well in the air to center field, but settling under it well was Jake Skaggs. He'll reach up and pull that one out of the sky, one away.
Yeah, that looked like a 2000s era, like Mark McGuire home run compared to everything else we've seen hit today. With a routine fly ball to center, we just haven't seen a whole lot of balls driven like that. But a couple times now, Espinosa has made some good contact, so he's at least figured something out on Gurr, albeit now at 1 for 3.
So we'll head now to Lee Matsuzaki, the Honolulu Hawaiian. Takes on the outside corner. 1-0 the count.
Hit 340 this year with the Mule Riders of Southern Arkansas University.
He's a little ways from home.
Yeah.
Well, I guess any mainland school is a little ways from home.
But yeah, this is a bit of a trek, I would suggest.
A little bit away from the Ohana out in Hawaii. Takes the 2-0 from Gurr, and I think this may be the first time we've seen a 3-0 count from Gurr. He's been painting the strike zone so far. Only issued, of course, that one free pass after a long extended battle. 3-0 from Gurr. And a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, lost the strike zone a bit here. The last at bat to Espinosa was behind there as well, and now a well-timed conversation here with Rubleski. There are a couple calls that didn't necessarily go his way, and it almost looked like he was trying to throw it hard enough that it would just make up for the last strike that was missed. But that is not how the sport works. So just settle in. Obviously, what you were doing was fine in the early part of this game. So try to get back to that now with a dangerous part of the lineup coming up with Claire Hout at the dish, and now a little bit more activity down in the bullpen for the Dawgs. Just some soft tossing for now, but the lighthearted stretching and joking has turned a bit more focused out there. Again, a difficult batter coming up in Carter Clairhout out of another one out of Southern Arkansas University.
Yeah, in his second season here with the Bulls, played 8 games last year. I felt like we always saw him when he was here in Okotoks with the Bulls last year.
Were all 8 of those games against the Dawgs? Kind of felt like we saw him quite a bit.
Yeah. But 5 straight balls here from the Dawgs starter, Seth Gurr. Gurr checks over his left shoulder, then comes set. And just barely missing the bottom of the strike zone here.
Well, and Clairhout has been around. He is probably going to keep that bat on the shoulder.
And we're going to have another meeting at the mound here.
Yeah, this one an official one, as a conversation needed with the pitching coach. It's not just the catcher now coming out to have this conversation, but you're facing probably the most dangerous hitter in this lineup in Clairhout. He has been tough for the Dawgs this year, going 5 for 9 with a home run and 2 runs batted in a pair of games against Okotoks. As again, a reminder, like, hey, you were awesome in the first 5 innings. Let's do that again.
Yeah, so that was Joe Sargent jogging his way out. 5 seasons with the Marlins for Joe Sargent, so not a shortage of pitchers that you can talk to on this Dawgs coaching staff. Obviously, with co-manager Lou Pote as well, having quite a lengthy MLB career. Pickoff, not in time. It was close.
That was very close again.
Clairhout ahead 2-0. And Gurr shaking out his arm a little bit. 2-0. And that one will miss as well. I wonder if that shaking of the arm is indicative of something might have tightened up a little bit for Gurr.
Well, I talked about it. It is a chillier day out there. Tougher to keep that arm warm.
Even with how quick the other innings has gone. Finally finds the strike zone right at the bottom. 3-1 the count here to Clairhout.
Gets a big smile on his face after throwing that one. Just remembering what that feeling is like after 7 in a row.
Takes a peek over to first, but delivers quickly home, and that's going to be a called strike right at around the knees. Clear out. It almost set in his way up to first after that one. But the full count here for Gurr. One away here in the top of the 6th. Runner for the Bulls at first base. Croson tried to get that swipe down, not quite in time.
Trying to keep him honest. Again, good speed over at first base with Matsuzaki. 6 stolen bases with the Mule Riders this year. Mule Riders, sorry.
Sets that front foot. Quick pick once again in time. Dashing back was Matsuzaki.
That was close. That was really close.
I don't know if it was a hand shuffle to get around the glove.
Throw was low where you want it, but I think it kind of took him into the pants more than it did the upper body area.
3-1. Once again, asking the question. And Croson not taking it easy on his pitcher.
That felt like a just throw to the batter now. Throw to the mound.
Gurr sets the front foot and does deliver. Fouled off by Clearout. We'll go to the full count again.
Out in front of that one with the that looked like the off-speed pitch. So you see that you've sped him up a little bit. That gets the wheels turning up in the head because obviously looking for that fastball. So what do you do here at 3-2 again?
Blusky, the Gonzaga product, gives the sign. Pitch delivered. And that's a solid bit of hitting there. As another hit there for Carter Clarout. Runners now at first and second for the Bulls.
Well, and you hear it in the big leagues all the time. That third time through the order, it gets a little bit more difficult. Clairhout, a veteran of this league, as we discussed, had a good season with Southern Arkansas University as well.
Oh, that's Lupo heading to the mound. So pitching change coming here for the Dogs. And as I said, it's been a good day, but the stuff's starting to lose a little bit of jump, so the Dogs will head to the bullpen. And justifiably clapping in the starter are the Dogs fans in attendance.
Yeah, a fantastic outing for him. Runs into a bit of a speed wobble in the 6th. But even then, just a very, very strong performance here from him today.
Hey, Peter, how do you feel about the band The Fables?
I'm for them.
I am too, because we'll get heave away as Chase Tucker steps onto the mound for the Dogs. I listened to the song on the way in. That's the only reason I know who the artist was.
That's a good pull. I have no idea.
But yeah, Chase Tucker out of Campbellsville University in St. John's, Newfoundland, comes in for the Dogs. Yeah, and on the mound, not catching today.
Yeah.
He was the one who caught for both Ricky Sanchez and Connor Croson. Of course, you don't want to have a seasoned pitcher catch for those guys.
Yeah, no, of course.
But Chase Tucker has been good so far this year. Hasn't had a win or a loss to his credit. Has pitched 9 times with a 3.37 ERA and a save in 13 1/3. 11 strikeouts as well.
That number is going to be important for him here with 2 on and 1 out with the cleanup hitter coming to the dish. You want to try to get out of this with as minimal damage as possible. And while a double play ball would be lovely, given how the grass is and everything, it might be a little bit more tricky today. So that the outs where you can just not have to worry about that are very important. And Tucker has been very good in some big situations for the Dogs over the years as well.
And it is the big, tall Jack Kaliski stepping into the box. 6'5" out of San Antonio, Texas. And he's one of those guys who is truly a pitcher and a position player. You don't see that a lot, but when you're 6'5", why not throw it on the mound?
Yeah, exactly. You can get that height to your advantage.
Tucker over his shoulder. He'll deliver. Kaliski will line that one into left. And it's bobbled, but the stop sign does go up. Bases are full of Bulls as the first pitch ambushed by Kaliski.
Just a nice, easy swing. Try to get that one into the outfield, and it's a really tough play for Kaliski to try to for Elsner to try to judge. It's coming right at him. You don't want to make a break on it and have the ball skip away from you, so decides to take the safe route, but it took a weird hop on him. But as you said, no harm, no foul.
That'll hand off to Steven Andrzejczyk. As I said, bases full of bulls, and they'll try and keep that going, but that one will be fouled off. Not quite off our roof.
Yeah, I was expecting
the thud.
Expecting a thud, yeah. Princess in the Park Day. It's like the Peter Pan. There was no splash. Why was there no splash?
Or the Marvin the Martian. I was expecting the baboon. Oh, speaking of expecting a baboon, Andrzejczyk swung through the off-speed there from Tucker.
Yeah, he was geared up for a fastball. That one slid right through him. Really good stuff with the Dogs having the corners in.
0-2. Tucker gets the outside corner. Andrzejczyk disagrees and has a few words for Matt Payne, and Payne shakes his head and says, "Sit down, young man." 2 away here for the Dogs.
Talked about how important those outs are with no one getting hits, especially now with the bases loaded. Basically, any kind of contact could bring in a run. To be able to get that out now and bring up 2 away is huge for Tucker.
That'll bring Brandon McTavish to the dish. Lefty at the plate out of Lethbridge. Good eye on the first pitch. Tucker behind 1-0.
One pitch. Lethbridge was furious with the umpire. Next one, the Dogs are. So Matt Payne call it right down the middle. It's exactly what you want at the umpire. Everybody mad at you.
Tough being the man in blue. That one just missed the bottom of the strike zone again for Tucker. 0-2. Peter, were you working the game where the leading run was walked across the plate for the Dogs? Couldn't remember if that was you or Mike.
That was not me, no.
So yeah, already seen runs walked in this building so far this year, but Tucker says, I have none of that in my plans.
Well, walk's not necessarily a usual issue for him. Just 5 walks this season. Only had 4 in 26 2/3 innings all last year with the Dogs.
Relied upon a little bit tougher situations. That one fouled off. Tucker's battled his way back into a 2-2 count. Not responsible for the runners on first and second, but not wanting to charge those runs to Gurr either. 2-2 the count here. Tucker versus McTavish. Tucker says fastball. McTavish says, I'll fight that off. And the first run of the game will come off the bat of Brennan McTavish, and the bases are still loaded.
Just an excellent battle there with 2 strikes. You shorten up your swing, just trying to make contact and not trying to do too much, punching it over into the left side the other way and bringing the first run in. So just some excellent hitting from McTavish. Not a bad pitch from Tucker, just really good hitting by the Bulls second baseman.
And interesting, the Bulls not electing to challenge the arm of Elsner today. Of course, you have 2 away and you have the bases loaded, so aggressive base running not necessarily needed. Takes a first pitch strike, does Bernie Sakaris. Bernie has reached base earlier today.
And a single in the 5th inning was picked off.
Doesn't necessarily have to worry about that this time, but Tucker delivers again. Sakaris, that one's off the dirt. He's got speed, and that one gets away from Croson. And the throw then gets away. A calamity of errors, and the Bulls now caught in a pickle. Tag is applied, so 3 runs cost the plate. The pickle ends up in the out, and I've put the runs on the wrong side of the scoreboard for you at home. But it will be 3-0 Bulls, and that's it, that's all. We'll return here on Flow Sports after these messages.
The Okotoks play is still very perfect for the following fans joining us at nice day. Happy 9th birthday to Will Curry. Happy birthday, Mike Reed. Happy 80th birthday to Paul Rockman. Happy 40th anniversary to Blaine and Leroy Love from Kevin, Owen, and Peyton Seville. Happy 9th birthday to Lorena. Love
So after a calamity of errors, they're only recording one officially, but 4 runs did cross home plate last inning for the Bulls. So Dawgs need to wake up the bats.
Yeah, the not always seeing 3-run error on that play. I'm happy I'm not on the other side trying to figure out the scoring on everything there. Because the play at first is a very difficult one to call an error on. The one at home isn't, but then you get the out at second base anyway. There was a lot going on that play, and none of it was normal. But now the Dawgs have some work to do. It starts with getting a hit and then trying to work your way through that.
So leading off will be the catcher, who did end up getting the Dawgs out of the pickle, Jacob Wroblewski. Wroblewski swings the first pitch, but the off-speed fooled him.
I think it would be a 6-3-2-5-4 putout on that last one, with an error somewhere in there.
You're a smarter man than I, Peter, and oof. The narrow strike zone we've seen would not agree with that call there.
The catcher at home plate, Wroblewski, being going to mind his P's and Q's in the discussion.
Pitch in the same spot, this time a different call. 1-2. Oh, and just seeing that they're bringing the concert series back. Instead, this time it's a headliner for Breton Rose. 1-2 the count, and Wroblewski swings over the top of that one. Another K on the afternoon for Abbott.
Yeah, that takes him to 6 now here in the 6th inning. Nice little K per inning will do just fine, I think.
Yeah, I think you'll take that, especially when there is a 0 in the hit column. Aiden Rose going to try and change that fact. He's been good so far this year in his 11 games played, 35 at-bats. Does have 5 runs and 11 hits.
Yeah, only 1 hitless game for him this year. So the 0 for is not one that he is used to. But as you would imagine, he's 0 for 1 in this game, striking out back in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, the fact that we're in the 6th inning and the Dawgs haven't even sent the order through twice says where we're at so far with the Dawgs. That one just a bit outside, 2-0.
And again, this is one of 2 or 3 counts where the Dawgs have even been ahead 2-0 in this one. It has been a clinic from Abbott so far.
Off speed across the middle of the plate. Rose says, I'll give you 1.
Everybody gets 1.
It's usually the first pitch of the AB that you get, but here we are, 2-1 the pitch. Rose fouls that one off, and it'll find its way into the Arcandia Outdoor Training Center.
Yeah, everyone had to pause. There's some more activity down in the Dawgs bullpen.
As we said, it might be one of those dog days where it's 1 inning, 1 inning, 1 inning.
Yeah.
For all the guys who are ready to go. Speaking of which, Rose needs to be ready to go, 2-2. He'll be frozen. 2 outs here on the inning, 2 strikeouts for Abbott.
Yeah, I don't know what Rose was expecting, but it wasn't that breaking ball in the outside corner. As that one froze him, he was hoping that maybe it broke a little bit too far, but Matt Payne rings him up now. 7 on the day for Abbott. 3 strikeouts in a row after he struck out Skaggs to end the 5th, and now 2 more here in the 6th.
That'll bring forth Stephen Elsner out of Bellevue University. As I said, only his 6th game of the year. Only averaging 182. Swings to the first pitch he sees. Doesn't get enough play off the grass. And the Dawgs once again go down in order. Peter Klein will take you the rest of the way. We'll be back when we resume play here on Flow Sports.
We also like to thank our trusted lawn care sponsor, Spruce Up. Check out Spruce Up for all your lawn care needs.
The 7th inning is presented by State Farmers of Alberta. Alberta Food Farmers are proud to provide fresh, affordable local foods every day. Eggs, a nutritional powerhouse with 6 grams of protein that knocks you out of the park.
Top half of the 7th inning here at Siemens Stadium. This game is flying by. Dawgs and Bulls. The difference, a 4 spot in the top of the 6th inning for the Bulls. They will be facing a new pitcher into the ball game as Trey Macwood takes to the hill, the righty out of FloCollege in Texas. 9 games this season, 0-1 with 3.75 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 7 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Facing Bernal, Ryan, and Spinoza. First pitch is in for a strike. It's 0-1. Bernal is 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out, was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning, and forced out at second. The 0-1. This is inside 1-1. Originally, this game was supposed to start at 2 o'clock. We got pushed back to 4, and we might still end at what would be a reasonable time for 2. Breaking pitch, ripped down the third base side, but just foul. Third base coach having to get the back panel on to get out of the way as that goes into the Bulls bullpen. The only activity down there so far, as you can imagine, with Levi Abbott spinning an absolute gem so far, 18 up, 18 down. The 1-2. Missed up and away, and it's 2-2. Bernal behind home plate today for Lethbridge, hitting .223, starting to get that bat going a little bit. He has hits in back-to-back games coming into this one. The 2-2. Overthrew that one, misses outside, and it's 3-2. Last outing for Macwood came on the 18th against Fort McMurray. Came into the game, faced 4 batters in 1 tidy inning. Full count pitch. Missed high and tight, ball 4, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Bulls here in the 7th inning as Bernal makes his way to home, or over to first base, sorry. And it'll be Ryan up to the plate. Jalen Ryan is 0 for 2. The strikeout in the 3rd. He was the 5th strikeout victim of today's starter, Seth Gurr. So grounded into a fielder's choice in the 5th. Ryan on saying this about a lot of guys, but on a bit of a roll, having 8 hits in his last 5 games. Squares to bunt, lays this one down, back to the mound. Throw is to first, and it is out number 1. You could see out there Rubleski directing traffic because you kind of want to give that throw to second base. See if you can try to get that lead runner. But Rubleski, just the direction, get the easy out over at first base. They're going to give you outs, may as well take them. So there is now 1 away with a runner in scoring position, and it's back to the top of the order with Spinoza. Be a conversation about how to handle the leadoff hitter for the Bulls, who is 1 for 3 in the ball game. A single in the 3rd. And a pretty good fly ball to center field in his last at bat in the 6th. Had a pretty good year with Canisius, getting into 13 games after playing in 42 in his freshman season back in 2024. 256 batting average in that year, down to 225 this year, but certainly worked on that patience at the plate with 18 walks to just 8 strikeouts in 13 games that he played. I'm sure all or none of that was discussed by Joe Sargent out on the mound, and now extra conversation with the umpire as that mound visit broke up. Rubleski kind of give like, okay, they get it. Let's not get anyone rung up here today. Yeah, Joe Sargent had a couple of extra words exiting that mound visit. So now coming set here is Macwood. Runner in scoring position, 1 away. First pitch on the inside corner. It's a strike, and it's 0-1. Macwood got into 5 games this year with FloCollege out in Texas. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts. The 0-1. That one misses the outside part of the plate. It is 1-1. Be careful with the leadoff hitter here in Spinoza. Get out of Canisius University. The lead over at second by Bernal. The 1-1. Breaking pitch just didn't break enough, and it's 2-1. Had some good movement on it, but it started a little bit too high. Make it now a 2-1 count to Spinoza with Matsuzaki waiting on deck. Now another mound visit here with Rubleski. And The yelling continuing between Matt Payne and Joe Sargent over on the Dawgs first base dugout. Be back now, and it's 2-1. Mackwood pitching from the stretch. Goes in now, ready for this 2-1 offering. Wow, that one straight back, and the count's even now at 2-2. Espinosa really shined in high school before making his way to Canisius, hitting .397, winning 2 district championships. Multiple league championships there as well, and then making his way up to Canisius, where he's been strong for a couple of seasons. Count now 2-2. Pitch from Mackwood. Gets some swinging, strike 3. A big second out from Trey Mackwood with some zip on the outside part of the plate, and there's 2 down. So Lee Matsuzaki comes to the plate now. Matsuzaki walked and scored in the 6th inning. It's otherwise 0 for 2. A bit of a dent in that .319 batting average, but still an excellent here, and a dangerous hitter with a runner in scoring position. First pitch swinging, he drives this ball to center field. Skaggs shuffles over a couple feet and will make the play to end the inning. So the Bulls threaten, they do not score. The Dogs need some runs. They'll start with a hit as we go to the stretch here at Siemens Stadium in Okotoks on FloCollege.
All right, fans, it's time for that great baseball tradition. Let's all stand with stretch and join Talia and 2 of the princesses in my life, my granddaughters Ada and Aspen, on Princess Day at Siemens Stadium. Take me out to the ball game.
Now batting, number 8, Ricky Sanchez.
Ricky Sanchez leading things off here in the bottom half of the 7th inning at Siemens Stadium. Peter Klein, Conrad Grossert back with you in the now overcast day in southern Alberta. Dogs trailing 4-0. Sanchez squares to bunt, pulls it back. It is 1-0. Charging in from third base there was Andrzejczyk. He firmly now has 10 toes on the grass. The 1-0, not bunting, not swinging, and it's 1-1. I would imagine that was just I'm going to take this pitch anyway, but let's put the threat out there anyway. So traditionally, in the situation that we are in right now, don't see a lot of bunts for base hits. The 1-1, Sanchez fouls that one off, and it's 1-2. As is everyone in the Dogs lineup. Sanchez 0 for 2 in the ballgame. ground out to second base and a comebacker to the mound. So it's not just that it has been no hits for the Dogs today. It has been some pretty soft contact as well. The 1-2 misses up and in. And it is 2-2. Just looking at the score sheet here, there have been 2 balls hit to the outfield today by the Dogs. And Sanchez got something in his eye. So we'll have a bit of a pause as he tries to clear that out. And gets us ready now for the 2-2. Dawgs fires and the pitch chopped over to second base. Charging that is McTavish. The throw to first is in time, and there's one down. Bring Connor Croson to the plate. Feels repetitive, but 0 for 2. Had a thumper over to first base that kind of ate up Clairhout, who was able to recover and shovel it back for the out. Also struck out in the 4th. First pitch swinging, cuts through that one, and it's 0-1. Croson was definitely expecting a bit more zip on that. We've seen one of the many great attributes of Abbott today is mixing up his pitches. The 0-1. Skips in, and it's 1-1. Croson's had some big games this season. Finished a home run short of the cycle back in earlier this month against Energy City. The 1-1. Big cut there, and it's 1-2. Good breaking pitch. Worked its way around the bat. Abbott setting up looking for strikeout number 8. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Abbott now has 8 Ks on the day. He, again, has been just simply spectacular. This is also not a unique occurrence for him. His 2 starts this season, 6 innings, no runs against Energy City, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. Then his next outing, a week later against Fort McMurray, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts. So this type of performance is just par for the course for him. As that pitch into Eisman is a ball, 1-0.
I'm sorry, it took me a whole inning to get back here, but
no, you've just been speechless by the performance of the pitchers here.
And the fact that Barry Eisman hasn't hit base today, that's also shocking.
This may surprise you. He's 0 for 2 in this ballgame. As he's grounded out to short, and as I mentioned before, one of 2 balls hit to the outfield today by the Dogs and a fly out to center. Takes that pitch for a strike, and it's 2-1. It's been all 3 at bats so far that Eisman has respectfully disagreed with a call at home plate. The 2-1. Got a piece to that one, and it's 2-2.
Just barely got that, and you could see he was frustrated, did the little bat flip to himself, and it's hard to find the words because, as we said, it hasn't been a lot of games where the Dogs' bats have been this quiet.
No, we came into the game talking about the offense for the Dogs, with how good they have been hitting as of late with 6 runs, 9 runs, 9 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs. 2-2. Missed that one high. This might be the first 3-ball count we've had today.
Second, I think.
It's been a while anyway. The count is 3-2 here. The pitch from Abbott. Breaking pitch, and he walked him.
So we have a base runner for the Dogs.
Yes, step 1 in trying to work their way back into the ball game. The first base runner of the day for Okotoks, finding his way on as Barry Eisman will walk. So perfection denied anyway today for Levi Abbott.
And that brings another very dangerous batter to the plate in Zane Scansey.
Scansey 0 for 2, a ground out to third and a pop out to left field. Takes the first pitch for a ball, and it is 1-0.
And this was about when you saw the Dawgs start to consider, or started warming up their next pitcher. The Bulls disagree. Nobody's even moved out of the dugout.
Yeah, there's a foul ball down there earlier. It's the only activity they've seen as Scansey drills this ball. Deep right field, going back on it is Matsuzaki. Still going back, and it'll drop in for a base hit. Getting the stop sign at third was Eisman. He runs through it. The throw was bobbled by the cutoff man. It is an RBI double for James Scansey. And the first hit of the ball game for the Dawgs brings in their first run. It's 4-1.
James Scansey did not miss that baseball, and the right fielder Matsuzaki was very shallow, so had a long way to run. Couldn't make the over-the-shoulder grab. Had to almost play more wide receiver than outfielder, and the Dawgs have broken the goose egg.
Yes, on Princess.
Their first of the day on Princess in the Park.
Yes, Princess in the Park Day. They are hoping that Levi Abbott turns into a pumpkin now here, as that has been rolling along. Check back over at second base now. The pitch. Nice breaking ball to Matchy, in for a strike. It's 0-1. Now all of a sudden you have a runner in scoring position and a chance to cut the deficit in half. Now that the only 0 on the scoreboard is in the error column for the Bulls, you feel a little bit better. And this offense, while stymied so far, has been known to put up a crooked number or two. The 0-1. Matchy fouls that one away, and that one's going to clear the bullpen by the Duvernay Fieldhouse, and it's 0-2.
Let's just not hit the glass on the fancy new renovated portion of the Duvernay Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the pictures, it's something to behold.
Yeah. Gonna have to go there one of these days. 0-2 here. Abbott comes set. Checks the runner back at second. Now comes home. The pitch. Sails that one over the head of Matchy. Over to third is Scansey. Now the next run for the Dawgs potentially 90 feet away.
And they do have a pitcher beginning the band work for the Bulls, so you might see Abbott will probably get through this inning, but that might be the last we see.
The 1-2 pitch. Matchy chops that one foul, and we will do that again.
We said this before the game. It seems the Bulls really like that band work to start even before the soft toss.
Yeah, they had a few lined up down there.
It was like a Pilates line.
The 1-2. Matchy golfs it to third. Knocked down by Andrzejczyk. Throws it across the diamond. Stretch at first by Clairhout. Gets the out and ends the inning. The Dawgs have a hit and a run. It's 4-1 going to the 8th here on FloCollege. Top half of the 8th now at Siemens Stadium. Dawgs trailing 4-1. A new battery into the ball game for Okotoks, as it is Jason Areola in to catch the new pitcher for Okotoks, Alex Oliver. They are teammates out at Colorado Pueblo, so that one certainly makes sense when you kind of draw that straight line, with Oliver now checking in, making his 9th appearance of the year. He's 2-1, 3.85 ERA, 9 1/3 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, and just 1 walk.
Has been relied upon in some closing situations. I do believe he has 1 save.
He does. I picked up that save on the 17th against Fort McMurray, getting 2 strikeouts in an inning.
I wonder who did the commentary on that one. That's why my memory is so good.
First pitch fouled away on that one. It is Clairhout up at the plate, sorry. Pitch misses outside, and it is 1-1.
Clairhout's been one of the guys who's had some big contact in this game. I'm not shocked with his build.
Singled and scored back in the 6th, and a good fly ball to center field as well. Looking from Oliver, that pitch skips in, and it's 2-1. Oliver this year with Colorado Pueblo, 13 games, 19 1/3 innings pitched, 0-1, 11 walks, 17 strikeouts, and an ERA around 7 out of Grove, Oklahoma. 2-1. Fouls that one back.
Evens up the count.
Of course, the best box that he checks off is a one fantastic mustache out on the mound.
Yeah, it is truly a great mustache. His favorite baseball player, past, present, future, Trevor Bauer.
Okay. A lot of social media content from him. The 2-2. Got him looking. Strike 3 called.
Clairhout vehemently disagrees, shaking his head. And there's been more than a few warnings issued to this Lethbridge squad from Matt Payne, and still an extended conversation.
He has had that with both sides. You were speechless for it, but there was a meeting on the mound for the Dawgs, and it seemed like almost as the first pitch missed outside, it seemed like almost the sole purpose of the meeting was for the umpire to come out and break it up so that Joe Sargent could have a word about the strike zone. As they had a lengthy conversation going back with Wroblewski Howard going, okay, he gets it. So the conversation has been double-barreled today for Payne, as that one's in for a strike, 1-1.
So talking about Oliver, fastball in the low 90s, a curve, slider, and a change, the slowest of them being that curve at 76.
Chopper to short. Sanchez charges, throws, in time for the second out.
Yeah, one of the more routine throws Ricardo Sanchez has had to make, as others have had to be more or less rockets across the whole infield, but that one was right in center of mass for Connor Croson.
That'll bring Anderchick to the plate out of Midland College in Kalispell, Montana. Coming into this one, he is 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts and a lengthy at-bat. First pitch, missed inside, 1-0.
Yeah, that's about all we can say on that one.
Oliver comes set, the 1-0. Hard hit into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Elsner will get that one in, but it is a base hit for Anderchick. And the inning continues with a 2-out single for the Bulls.
We saw the Dawgs score their 1 run on a 2-out rally. The Bulls trying to maybe maintain momentum here in response with 2 away.
Brendan McTavish comes to the plate. He had the RBI single back in the 6th inning that opened the scoring.
Another fun fact from Oliver is that we asked if torpedo bats should be banned. He said, I don't have an informed opinion yet, especially as a pitcher.
Pitch grounded to second. Throw to first is in time for the out. Confident was Oliver, as he's basically at the dugout by the time that out was recorded. So he felt informed enough that the inning was going to be over, and he was right. We go to the 8th here at Siemens Stadium. Dawgs looking for more, down 4-1 on FloCollege. Bottom half of the 8th inning here at Siemens Stadium. Dawgs trying to get back into it, down 4-1, and it is out of the frying pan into the fire as they don't have to deal with Levi Abbott, who didn't allow a base runner until the 7th inning. Now all they have to deal with is the guy who has the best ERA amongst qualified pitchers in the WCBL, as Corbin Talley is out there. First pitch, a check swing back to Talley, and he will make the play for out number 1.
Yeah, they check swing, as they're calling it, a power bunt. Not how you want the first swing to go against a new pitcher.
No, you'd kind of, if you're not going to make the good contact, you want to make sure you see a couple pitches from him. But he has been excellent. 4 games so far this year, 1-0 with an ERA of 1. 9 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, just 1 walk.
And this will bring forth the new catcher for the Dawgs. Is first AB of the afternoon for Jason Arriola.
First pitch is in for a strike to Arriola, hitting .304 on the season out of Colorado Pueblo. Looking for his first home run, but 3 runs batted in. This is in for a ball. Sorry, 1-1. Good year with Colorado Pueblo. Hit .320 with 11 runs batted in. And in for a strike now, 1-2.
He's got the bright blue gloves that match the 5 o'clock somewhere uniforms for this Dog squad.
The 1-2. Check swing. Did he go around? He did not. And there is now a 2-2 count on that.
I think that one might have been as close as you can get it. The appeal ruled that we are in the 2-2 count.
Comes set now, ready with the 1-2 pitch. Pops that one foul, and we will do it again here at 1-2. Or 2-2, sorry.
Oh, hit the wrong button. Yeah, just had to make sure it was 2-2. Umpire was shaking his hands out, trying to make sure we were all aware. I had it on the stream. Oh, and it does look like the rain may have come out because I'm seeing lots of ponchos over on the hill.
And that pitch misses up. The count is now full at 3-2. Allie, as mentioned, just 1 walk this year. It actually came against the Dawgs. He pitched in 2 innings back on June 3rd. He's ready with the 3-2 pitch. Missed outside. It is a 1-out walk for Arriola, and the Dawgs will take base runners any way they can get them today, with Aiden Rose now coming to the plate.
Yeah, and for that just to be the 2nd walk of the season, and good plate discipline there from Arriola.
Yeah, when you come into a ball game, your first at bat, you kind of want to just chomping at the bit, try to get something going. But nice patience shown there. Gets the walk, and now it's Aiden Rose. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch. It's the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1.
I've been told he's loved in the dugout, Aiden Rose. He might be your favorite dog's favorite dog. Always good to have those guys in your lineup.
Check over at first base. Now looks home. The 0-1. Popped him up. Over on the right side, and this one is out of play.
Just barely.
It felt like it kind of grazed the back of the net there.
Yeah.
It does look like it's coming down pretty good. We have the windows closed in here, so it is kind of tough to tell what is rain and what is rain that once was. But seeing some people going for cover, I would assume that that's what's happening. The 0-2 now to Rose from Talley. Shakes off a couple of signs.
One more shake off.
There we go.
How many pitches do you have in your arsenal?
Yeah, no kidding. 4th time was the charm. The 0-2. Rose pops it up. Over on the right side, heading over there is Claire Hout. He'll have plenty of room for out number 2. So they settled on the right pitch and get the 2nd out.
I thought they were going to see Adonis Bernal just take a walk to the mound and say, "Why are you shaking me off?"
Yeah.
I guess it's more Durham Bulls than Lethbridge Bulls, but Well, final warning. It looks like it's, oh, no, ball had found its way off the berm onto the foul ball. And I think the kids are like, can we have our ball back? And yeah, it will be lobbed back there.
Kid tried for a leaping catch on that, and just with the slant of the berm, gravity was not necessarily on his side. But I think that the ball went back to the rightful owner as Elsner now comes to the plate. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Conservative lead over at first by Areola. First pitch, Elsner, big swing and a miss there, 0-1. 23 home runs this year with Bellevue University.
Yeah, power hitter in the 9-hole. Not often a phrase uttered.
One the Dogs are happy with right now, as they would love a bit of a spark before turning it back over to Sanchez. That pitch just missed, 1-1. Elsner coming off of his second season with Bellevue. On base percentage of .472 this year with that team.
And he does look like he's rocking that torpedo bat. Interesting.
Oh, it does have a bit of a jut out there. The 1-1 drills this ball deep left center field. This ball is going back, and it is off the wall. Digging around third. Getting the wave home is Areola. A bit of a stumble, but he's going to get there without a throw. It's an RBI double for Steve Elsner, and the Dogs have cut the lead in half. It's 4-2.
Yeah, just a great piece of hitting there, and use that modified lumber to get out in front of that one. And you know, I think he might be one of the few Dogs that's switched to that new modified bat.
Yeah, haven't seen many of them so far. Worked for him there because he barreled it up.
Yeah.
Wherever the barrel was on that thing, he barreled it and cranked that one out to left center field for a hit.
And I've heard it was quite hard at one point to get a hold of those torpedo bats with everyone and their mom trying to order them.
Yeah.
Them being the flavor of the week at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I imagine that there was a bit of a waiting list after the Yankees popularized it and then scored 100 runs in the first weekend of the season.
Yeah, but it's kind of come back down to earth for the Yankees.
Yes.
They aren't looking like they have the juice from the Monstars anymore.
Yeah, things have, they're having their June swoon out there. And, I mean, Jays had an opportunity to try to catch up, but losing 2 or 3 to the White Sox isn't necessarily
yeah,
the way to
that's
go
a tough look.
Not that I'm bitter about it or anything. Anyway, Sanchez, as Ricardo Sanchez comes up after a meeting on the mound, as Talley having to deal with something he hasn't had to in a while, and that's adversity with the run coming in. We mentioned before the ERA was at 1.
Yeah, it's still probably going to be down in those low single digits after that.
Talley now comes set. And the pitch. Nice breaking ball in there. It's 0-1.
Yeah, and a little bit more agility you think out of a left fielder / first baseman here from Elsner. Doing a little dancey dance over at second base.
Elsner did have 7 steals with Bellevue this year. Now, a steal of third with 2 out, and the leadoff man up would be a bold move. The 0-1, big swing and a miss there from Sanchez. You don't see him get out of his usual swing all that often. So
no.
He's looking for a big one there.
And you're thinking you've already seen the off speed. He probably wants to speed it up, and Ricky was waiting for that fastball, but it never came.
And now you're thinking, like, okay, is he going to choose that a third time? Or is he, like, there's no way he's not going to bring the fastball, right? That's when the sport gets difficult. It's when you think. That's why I was okay at it.
Yeah, not much between my ears either, so.
The 0-2. Sanchez bloops this one back behind the mound. It's in a tricky spot. Drops in. The pitcher and second baseman collide, and everybody's safe. Just a little floater over the head of Talley. McTavish charging in, Talley charging back, and leads to a bit of a knockout there. So not your conventional single for Ricky Sanchez, but the way the day has been going, you will take it.
And Ricky Sanchez, unconventional hits. I don't want to look back in history too many times, but advanced the Dogs to the final last year with an RBI bunt single.
Yeah, the
So
crowd pleaser that is the walk-off squeeze. And now Connor Croson. Yeah, we mentioned it before, like that this, with all due respect to the Dogs, this has not felt like a close baseball game since those 4 runs came in, but they are one swing away from taking the lead from a guy who is very good at those swings. Sanchez taking a usual lead over at first. Talley looking over as the lefty now comes home. First pitch misses outside. It's 1-0.
again, one of those 50-50 coin flips on the outside goes the direction of Okotoks' own Connor Croson. Didn't see many of the crow dances as he stepped up to the dish as usual.
Again, the long look over at Sanchez. Runner goes. Pump fake to second base. They're not going to let Elsner try to make that break, so it's a stolen base for Sanchez.
Yeah, I don't think Elsner is the speedster you think would steal home. We did see it last year with, was it Bernie that stole home? Yes, it was, if my mind is remembering back correctly.
Dogs had a situation like that a couple days ago against McMurray as well, but that was on a throwing error to second base. Now Croson pops it up. Over on the right side, Clairhout will settle under it, and the inning is over. The Dogs get 1. We're threatening for more, but we go to the 9th in a 2-run ball game here at Stevens Stadium on FloCollege.
Now pitching for the Dogs, number 33, Easton Corey.
To the 9th we go here in Okotoks, a 2-run ball game. New pitcher in for the Dogs. It is Easton Corey, really making his second appearance of the year. Had a save in his first outing, a scoreless inning against Brooks on the 19th. Putting a bow on the Dogs' 5th straight win. They're looking to extend that, but have some work to do, and that work starts with limiting the offense for the Bulls here in the 9th.
Yeah, Easton Corey looking different. He chopped off all the long flowing locks that he had last year.
And fouled away. It is 0-1. The locks certainly were working for him as he had a 1.80
with a 1-1 record.
7 Ks in 3 2/3. That'll do.
Yep.
The 0-1. Muscled up the middle, and that will get knocked down by Rose. The throw to first. Not nearly in time, but a very good play by Aiden Rose nonetheless. That'll be an infield single for Sakaris. And the leadoff man is aboard. He's been on 3 times today. He singled in the 5th, was picked off, and then had the whatever that was in the 6th inning, whether it was reached on an error or what. But nonetheless, he hit the ball. 3 people came across the score, and then eventually getting thrown out.
So apparently Corey had something white on his non-throwing hand that umpire had an issue with, so he'll take that wristband off, throw it in the back pocket. It's one of those few rules for pitchers. You can't have anything white on you, because it could be confused with the baseball.
Bernal squares to bunt, pulls it back. It's a ball, 1-0.
I don't think that missed by much, even with the bunt being pulled back.
Corey, I don't have it in front of me. You might, but I believe he throws hard as that ball is stung out into right field. Heading over and making the catch is Gansey. The out is made. The point I was going to make is that looks like it would suck to try to bunt. And Bernal agreed and decided to rip one to right field, but right at Gansey for the first out.
Don't have Corey's pitch mix this year, but if I remember from last year, it's a high 80s four-seamer, and you have to think another year in the gym would have had a couple ticks to the velo gun.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be squared up trying to bunt that either. So now it is Ryan coming to the plate. I shouldn't say either. He was squaring to bunt on that first one. But Ryan steps to the plate. Out of El Paso, Texas, attending Eastern Arizona College. First pitch missed outside, 1-0. Matchy is playing in a little bit. By the time that pitch was coming, he was basically 10 toes on the grass. Steps in here.
Different batting stance from Ryan.
And the pickoff attempt gets away from Croson and goes over in front of the bullpen. Heading around second, going to third is Sakaris. A good throw, but it's not in time. And so the missed pickoff attempt cost the Dogs dearly on 2 bases there for Sakaris.
Yeah, the E1 assessed Easton Corey, and I understand the pickoff attempts, but now getting the 2 extra bags is a little tough.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Not that Ryan is a fantastic double play candidate, but it takes that away and now brings everyone on the infield in. The 1-0 breaking ball misses outside, and it's 2-0. Ryan patient at the plate. He's had more walks than strikeouts in both of his seasons at Eastern Arizona College. And that maintains the same here. The 2-0 popped him up. Back behind the mound, Sanchez has it and puts it away for out number 2.
Trust either of the middle infielders, but it's good on days like today where you have your everyday shortstop and second baseman to just give you that extra communication, especially on a play like that. The last thing you want is your shortstop and your second baseman running into each other in that finding grass.
Well, and I mean, it's a routine catch, and you're right, having that conversation is good, knowing who's where. The clouds are also basically baseball colored. And that is a tricky thing to maneuver sometimes as the catch is made. Now Spinoza up at the plate. The leadoff hitter, 1 for 4. Breaking pitch, missed outside, and it is 1-0.
And Arriola took a look around the batter at the plate to go to third. Don't think Croson was checking up on the runner that closely.
The 1-0. Breaking pitch drilled into left center field. This ball is going back. Skaggs to the warning track at the wall, and it's off the wall. 1 run comes in to score. An insurance run for the Bulls on an absolutely tattooed double by J.C. Spinoza, and it's 5-2 for the Bulls here in the 9th.
Yeah, getting a hold of one of the better pitchers here in the Dawgs organization was that leadoff man, and you sent in one of your high leverage arms to try and reduce that. Still do play to run.
That is a tough one there for the Dogs, as now Lee Matsuzaki comes into the ball game. You mentioned it going into his last at-bat. Spinoza's been hitting the ball hard all day today.
Yeah.
Had the single in the 3rd inning, the fly out to center field in the 6th, and now stings that one. Matsuzaki, first pitch swinging, fouls it away. He walked and scored in the 6th inning.
Down at the brand new seating area in front of the walking taco shack.
Close game in the 9th, so don't want to linger on this too much. You see there's chicken taco in a bag here for the
I
week?
saw.
That looks really good.
Might have to get one Wednesday.
The 0-1 missed outside, 1-1. Yeah, I'm back here Friday. I'm going to be making sure that, yeah, you know what? Dinner plans are covered. Maybe lunch for tomorrow as well, but we'll see. The 1-1. The runner now comes back. That one catches the outside corner. It's 1-2. Matsuzaki stares off in bewilderment. He seemed to disagree with that. Now a big moment here. Come set ready with the 1-2. You wanted that. Good take.
The high heat nearly got the swing from Matsuzaki. Just hopping on that front foot, trying to hold back.
The hold up there, and the count now 2-2. Long look in here from Corey. The pitch spins outside, and it's 3-2. It's been an interesting command day for Corey. As the according to pitch tracker here, he's at same amount of balls and strikes, which is not usual for him. The 3-2 fouls that one back. We'll do it again.
Took Matsuzaki all the way onto the grass here at Siemens Stadium.
Extend the inning with Claire Hout on deck. Matsuzaki had 340 this year with Southern Arkansas University, at 319 coming into play today. Can you drive home another big run at second base? The 3-2 pitch is low and in, ball 4. And the inning continues with Claire Hout at the plate.
Ariola with the signs for the defensive assignments, and he'll walk his way back to his catching position. And we've seen Carter Clairhout hit some balls real hard in this stadium. He was one of the, I think he was in the home run derby last year, if I do have to remember correctly.
Certainly seems like he would be the type, as there's definitely a lot of pop in that bat. Clairhout drove in 23 runs with Southern Arkansas University this year. Takes that one for a ball 1-0. Already 4 home runs on the season, one of them coming against Okotoks. Big fly here would relieve this game of a lot of the drama that it would have going into the bottom of the 9th. Check back at second, now the 1-0. Catches the outside corner after a bit of a pause from Matt Payne, and it's 1-1.
Big props to Jason Ariola there. He might have stole one.
There's the look in. Now the 1-1. Stung back up the middle, and that ball will get down for a base hit. Getting the wave around third is Spinoza. The throw home is cut off. Played over to third, and there's no one there.
Connor
skips away from Croson. Matchy was at the bag, just on the wrong side of it from the throw. It will allow another run to score. Matsuzaki is in. Clairhout trots into third. 2 more runs in, and it is 7-2 for the Bulls.
That is not a play you see Connor Croson make very often. Just the complete mental error.
Yeah, a difficult play there, so that will certainly be a double and then a 1-base error, getting Clairhout over to third. And the inning continues now. What did you say about 2-out rallies before? Kaliski at the plate now. Breaking pitch. Misses. Harris was over at first base. And a couple of outs, he makes his way to third. And since then, 3 runs have scored. The 1-0. This is outside, 2-0.
I'm surprised to not see Corey go stamp down where his landing foot was. So it looked like he spun out a little bit there.
2-0 again. And now this ball is skied into center field. Making his way over is Skaggs. He is under it to end the inning, but not before. The Bulls strike for 3 more, making the road a little bit longer for the Dawgs going into the 9th here on FloCollege. Couple changes for the Lethbridge Bulls as they look to hold on to a 5-run lead here and bring it into the 5-game win streak for the Dawgs, as it is Lucas Wynn taking the mound, the righty out of Vancouver, BC, playing with the UBC Thunderbirds, making his 5th appearance of the year, has yet to give up an earned run. What's going on in that bullpen over there?
Yeah,
Dynamite
what's
this
in
year.
what's in the water in Lethbridge?
4 2/3 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, just the 5 walks. Had 2 saves with the Bulls a season ago.
Also, at shortstop, it's Luke Wheatley defensively for the Bulls.
And for J.C. Spinoza, first pitch misses high. That is ball 1. It'll be Eisman, Skaggs, and Matchy. And the Dawgs are hoping several more after that. Pitcher comes set. Ready with the 1-0. Missed outside, 2-0.
We've seen lots of Dawgs rallies here at Okotoks, but it's tough. We need more runs than you've had hits in the ball game.
Yeah, it's a difficult place to start from, for sure. 2-0. Nice breaking pitch. Finds its way in. 2-1.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to end up well into the right-handed batter's box, but bananaed its way back.
For Eisman, you are looking for a pitch you can drive, so that's generally not a fastball with that kind of a break on it. And to get that kind of a breaking ball, it's just very frustrating. And now Eisman, he has had one of those in every at-bat so far where he has turned out in disgust. That one made him, Nomar Garcia-Pera, have to adjust the gloves a little bit. Now the 2-2. Swin checks in. A 3/4 delivery as that one goes low. It's 3-2.
Yeah, it's very visibly different than his standard location. You don't see that often. Everyone's talking now in pitching about throwing everything out of the same tunnel. That certainly wasn't that.
No, I don't know if that was the same road. That was way on a different spot, but just try to change up the hitter's eye a little bit. Now, full count pitch again. Eisman swings and misses, strike 3. Whatever delivery he's using, it's working, and there's one down here in the 9th.
Yeah, the safety swing doesn't make contact, and the road continues to get a little bit steeper for the Dawgs.
So it'll be Zane Scansey to the plate. He doubled and was stranded at third in the 7th inning. 1 for 3. It's an RBI double for him, driving in the first run of the ball game. It was the first hit of the ball game for the Dawgs. Takes that one inside, 1-0.
That one wouldn't have felt very good on the front thigh.
Yeah, no, that would have sucked. That would have been a very difficult way to spend a Sunday, especially if it's cold. Not that there's a good time to get hit. That one's chopped over to third. Takes a short hop there on Andrzejczyk. Knocks the lid off. And, I mean, it showcases a fantastic salad, but it is a hit there for Scansey. And he will get a board with 1 out.
And they're having a debate if that's going to be an E5 or not.
It's a tough short hop. I will defer to them on that. Matchy will step up to the plate now.
He's over today, if I do remember correctly.
You do remember correctly. He has taken a tour of the infield, grounding out to second, third, and short. They did rule that one an error, so it was E5 on the play. Hometown team, I might have given him another hit, but that's just me.
Yeah, we'll see how it officially gets entered into
Yeah.
point streak as another ball comes in to play off the berm.
That one misses outside, 1-1. Yeah, that one over
Yeah,
by the
I think it's
dugout.
time for some parents to say the balls need to go away. We're going to have delays in this ball game.
Count even now, 1-1. Another breaking pitch. That one misses inside. It's 2-1. Talk about the depth on that. That started out looking like it was about to hit Matchy.
I think Matchy was bracing for impact, too.
And the count now 2-1. As the Dawgs look for a rally here in the 9th. Down by 5. The 2-1. Catches the outside corner 2-2, and Matchy disagrees.
As do most of the fans in attendance here on a, we'll call it just cloudy day here at Stevens Stadium.
Yeah, that one would have lost the popular vote. Count now all square, 2-2. Scansey getting his lead over at first. 5 steals this season with the Dawgs. The 2-2 to Matchy. Fouls that one off. Takes a spin over to first base. That looked like one of those that might have that weird angle to come back in, but kept spinning its way out into foul territory, so we'll do it again at 2-2.
Yeah, and the hit in and around the logo on the bat, that one's never pleasant on the hands.
Yeah, there's a few ants crawling around in the hands there right now. Count even at 2s. Matching with Illinois State, working his way through the Dawgs program as well. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss there. Strike 3. And there's 2 down here in the 9th inning. Bring Skaggs to the plate. Looking for his first hit of the ball game. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Huyn, keeping his fantastic run on the go. Now 8 strikeouts, and that would be 5 1/3.
Jake Skaggs got that hoodie on underneath his Town Connect jersey. I was like, is Tucker Zaduna coming out of retirement?
Runner goes. The pitch is a strike. That is the definition of defensive indifference, but I think we'll give him the stolen base anyway. So we'll give him 6 steals on the year for Scansey, runner in scoring position for the Dawgs. The 0-1 misses inside, 1-1.
Good pick there, though, by Adonis Burnell.
A pretty tiny game behind home plate for him. Haven't been many issues there.
Not that there's been many runners that we've had to worry about.
4 or 5 base runners. He hasn't been tested all that much. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss there, and it's 1-2. Dawgs down to their final strike. It has been a weird weekend out here in southern Alberta, scheduling-wise. Dawgs will have the day off tomorrow, then head out to Brooks for a matchup. That pitch misses outside. It is another steal there for Scansey. He'll make his way over to third base. 2 away. So yes, after this, the bus heads out to Brooks for 1 game on Tuesday, then back home against Brooks for the makeup game on Wednesday before a trip out to Lethbridge on Thursday. Fights that one off. Fouled away. And the Dawgs down to their final strike. For Lethbridge, looking for their 3rd win in a row.
I'm looking to tie in the standings with the Dawgs.
They have an afternoon game tomorrow, 1:05 start against Brooks. The 2-2. That one misses up and away. Before Lethbridge heads out for a couple of games against Energy City. Looks like it's a doubleheader. They'll be back at home for those 2 games, for a doubleheader against Energy City on Tuesday. The 3-2 now to Skaggs. Looking to extend this ball game. And he will with a walk.
I think Skaggs was holding his breath there as we've seen this strike zone be flexible.
So the line moves on, and now Ariola comes to the plate. He walked in his only plate appearance, came around to score. The Elsner double. Made it 4-2 at the time. Dawgs need a few more RBI doubles to get back into this one.
I think he'll just take getting on base and handing it over to the next guy in the order.
Pitch in for a strike there at 0-1.
Because if he reaches, that would bring the tying run theoretically into the on-deck circle.
The 0-1 now from Huyn. That one misses low and in, and it's 1-1. Ariola been here for a couple of seasons now. 33 games last year. This will be his 11th appearance this season. The 1-1 misses outside. It's 2-1.
And he's one of those guys who you've seen the Dawgs use a little bit of everywhere. I asked him, does he have the checklist in his locker? And he said, that's not a bad idea.
Win comes set. The strikeouts have been there. He has walked a few this year, 5 coming into this outing. That one catches the outside corner, and one more time, the Dawgs down to their final strike. Skaggs over at first after he walked. Scansey reached on an error and has stolen his way to third. The 2-2. High and tight, and the count runs full again. So it'll be a running start for Skaggs as the Dawgs refuse to go quietly into this afternoon.
They may be erasing those clouds we see to our south.
Yes. Yeah, taking a look at those has not been enjoyable, but would be happy to delay that a few more at-bats here. The 3-2 pitch, aerial, a swing and a miss, strike three, and that's the ball game. The Lethbridge Bulls win what started out as a pitcher's duel, but pull away late for a 7-2 win. The Bulls pick up 7 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. The Dawgs 2 runs on 3 hits with 3 errors. The win streak snapped at 5. And these two teams, it was close for most of the game, and I would imagine that's going to be a story between the two of them all season long.
You have to think this might not be the last these two squads see of each other, and I'm not just talking about the regular season.
Yeah, they met in the playoffs a year ago, and that could be the destiny again. It was a great one here today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Sunday afternoon. For Conrad Krauser, my name is Peter Klein. Thank you very much for joining us here on FloCollege.